The cold came first, slipping through the cracked window of the old sedan like an unwanted memory, settling into bones that were already tired of carrying too much. The parking lot lights buzzed overhead, flickering as if even they were unsure they wanted to stay awake for what they were witnessing. Inside the car, a man wrapped his jacket tighter around a small sleeping child in the back seat, whispering silent prayers into the darkness, hoping tomorrow would be kinder than today. He had no idea that within minutes, a single knock on the fogged-up glass would begin to change everything he thought was already lost. Before the story goes any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet miracles that happen when people choose compassion, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that may be hurting in silence. Michael Turner had not imagined this would be his life at 36. He used to wake up early in a small rented house in Ohio, brewing cheap coffee while his daughter Lily ate cereal at the kitchen table, her feet swinging above the floor. He worked construction, long days under the sun, hands rough but proud. His wife Sarah had passed away after a sudden illness 2 years earlier, leaving behind a silence that never fully left the house. Michael tried to be strong, tried to be both parents, but grief is heavy, and bills do not wait for broken hearts to heal. When the company downsized, he was one of the first to go. Savings disappeared faster than he expected, and soon the house followed. At first, Michael told himself the car was temporary, just a few nights, maybe a week until he found work. He parked in places that felt safer, near grocery stores or churches, always moving so no one would notice patterns. Lily thought they were on an adventure, camping in the city. Michael smiled for her, but at night when she slept curled up under a blanket in the back seat, his chest tightened with guilt so sharp it stole his breath. He skipped meals so she could eat. He washed up in gas station bathrooms, avoiding mirrors that reminded him how far he had fallen. The hardest part was not the hunger or the cold. It was the looks, the way people glanced at his car and then away too quickly, as if poverty were contagious. Michael felt invisible, like he had failed not just as a provider, but as a man and a father. Every night he prayed, not loudly, not eloquently, just desperate whispers asking God to protect his daughter and forgive him for not being enough. That particular night was worse than most. A winter storm had rolled in early, dumping sleet that rattled against the windshield. Lily had a cough that worried him, small and persistent, and Michael had no money for a doctor. He rubbed her back until she fell asleep, his hands trembling with fear he refused to name. He stared out at the empty lot, wondering how much longer he could keep pretending this was survivable. Then came the knock. It was soft, hesitant, almost easy to ignore. Michael froze, fear shooting through him. People did not knock on cars at night for good reasons, especially not on men who clearly had nothing. He reached instinctively toward Lily, shielding her even in his thoughts. The knock came again, a little firmer this time, followed by the outline of a woman standing just outside the driver's side window. She looked ordinary in the way that felt disarming. A long coat, gloves, her hair pulled back simply. No sign of authority, no aggression. Just a woman holding a paper bag and concern written plainly on her face. Michael cracked the window just enough to hear her, his voice caught somewhere between suspicion and exhaustion. The woman introduced herself as Grace Williams, saying she noticed the car had been there for hours and saw the child inside. She did not accuse or interrogate. She did not pity him in that obvious, uncomfortable way. She simply said she wanted to help. Inside the paper bag was food still warm, soup and bread, the kind of meal that felt like someone had thought ahead. Michael wanted to refuse. Pride flared weakly, like a dying match. But Lily stirred, coughing again, and hunger won. He accepted the bag with shaking hands, murmuring thanks he barely believed he deserved. Grace did not linger, did not ask invasive questions. She only said she would be back in a few minutes and walked away. Michael ate slowly, sharing bites with Lily, tears blurring his vision as warmth spread through his chest that had nothing to do with the food. He told himself this was just kindness, nothing more. But when Grace returned, she was not empty-handed. She held a spare blanket, thicker than his worn jacket, and a small envelope. She explained calmly that she volunteered with a local church and community outreach group. The envelope contained information, shelter contacts, and a card with her phone number written neatly on the back. Over the next few days, Grace did not disappear like a dream fading with morning light. She helped Michael connect with a family shelter that prioritized parents with children. It was not perfect, crowded, and loud, but it was warm, and Lily slept in a real bed for the first time in weeks. Grace checked in regularly, never overstepping, never making Michael feel small. She spoke to him like he mattered, like his story was not over yet. Slowly, things began to shift. Through a program Grace recommended, Michael found temporary work at a warehouse. It was hard and paid little, but it was honest, and it was a start. Lily's cough improved once she was warm and fed consistently. Michael caught his reflection one morning and noticed something unfamiliar behind his tired eyes. Hope, fragile but alive. Grace revealed over time that she understood more than she initially let on. Years ago, she too had been one paycheck away from losing everything after her husband walked out, leaving her with debt and fear she never thought she would survive. A stranger had once helped her when she was at her lowest, and she had promised herself she would do the same whenever she could. Michael realized then that the knock on his window was not random. It was a chain of kindness stretching farther back than he could see. Weeks turned into months. Michael saved carefully, every dollar guarded like something sacred. With assistance and relentless effort, he secured a small apartment. It was modest, peeling paint and thin walls, but it had a door that locked and windows that let light in. Lily laughed more. She drew pictures of houses with bright colors and people holding hands. Michael pinned every one of them to the wall like proof that they were moving forward. On the day they moved in, Michael sat alone after Lily fell asleep, overwhelmed by gratitude that felt almost painful. He bowed his head, not asking for anything this time, just thanking God for the strength to endure and for the people placed in his path when he needed them most. He thought about that cold night, the car, the fear, and the simple knock that broke through his despair. Grace visited occasionally, always smiling, always reminding him that he had done the hard part himself. But Michael knew the truth. Sometimes survival depends on someone seeing you when the world looks away. Sometimes help arrives quietly, without fanfare, in the form of a paper bag and a blanket. If this story is touching your heart so far, please pause for a moment and let us know where you're watching from and what part of the story moved you the most. Your comments mean more than you realize. Life did not suddenly become perfect. Bills still came, days were still long, and grief still visited Michael when he least expected it. But he faced it differently now. He knew that falling did not mean staying down forever. He volunteered when he could, offering food at the same outreach that once helped him, recognizing his past self in the tired faces he saw. One evening, as Michael tucked Lily into bed, she asked if they would ever sleep in the car again. He kissed her forehead, holding back tears, and told her that even if they faced hard times again, they would face them together, and that there were good people in the world who cared. Lily smiled, already drifting off, secure in a way she had not been months earlier. Before this story ends, if it has touched your heart, inspired you, or reminded you of the power of compassion, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel for more real, emotional stories like this. Your engagement helps spread kindness further than you may ever know. And one special request before the ending. Please comment the word hope if you believe that a single act of kindness can change a life. Michael often thought back to that night, the cold, the fear, and the knock that interrupted his despair. He understood now that miracles are not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes they arrive quietly, disguised as strangers who simply choose to care. And for a poor single dad who once slept in his car, that choice became the beginning of a new chapter, one written not in loss, but in grace.